Hello and welcome to the Super Metroid multi-category tournament match between Sloaters and Zoast. Both of these players are 4-0. They are going to be racing GT Classic, and this is going to be an amazing, amazing race. And we are joined here by Cerberoth and commentary.
How you doing?
And it looks like we will be started any second here. So we are very, very excited for this race, and we hope that all of you are as excited as we are. And they are off. Both of them opting for appropriate fall speed in the first Roma series. And we will begin.
A little context for our viewers here. We have on the right, sloaters20. Yes, on the left. I got my left and my right confused already. So on the left, we have sloaters27. And Sloaters has a personal best in our category of GT Classic of 33.53. And on the right, we have Zoasty with a personal best of 32.40. So these runners are very, very close. This category, very swingy. We have two very difficult tricks coming up right around the 10 or 12 minute mark into this run. The lava dive and then the green gate glitch. Questions are, what safeties are these runners going to pick up? I imagine very minimal. And what safety saves these runners are going to want? Are they going to save before the lava dive and take that chance that the other runner gets ahead of them? Or are they going to, they're definitely going to save at the top of the lower Norfair elevator. So we'll see what these runners are going to do. Cirrus Station, excellent by both runners.
We think that at this skill level, it's going to be close enough that they actually might both decide to just go for it without saves at all. They might decide that 10 seconds is worthwhile to take a massive risk.
Well, we'll have to watch and find out.
So they're going to do the normal any percent route up until Kraid. And then after Kraid, they're going to be setting up for the lava dive. And they're going to have a few decisions to make there. First of all, do they get Kraid E-Tank? Do they get high jump E-Tank? And do they get high jump boots? And we would expect both of them to be getting high jump boots and not going for the high jump plus lava dive. But they're both top tier runners, and they can both go for whatever they want.
With what safeties are these runners going to go get? There are potential 3 E-Tanks that they could go get. The Kraid E-Tank, the high jump E-Tank, the high jump boots. And depending on what safeties that they choose to pick up, we'll see. Like, it's very unlikely that they're going to pick up any more than 5 missiles, which is also a potential safety for runners. Charge beam is also a potential safety. These runners, I would expect neither of them to pick up any of those things. So we're going to be seeing them go down to Kraid and then come back down to the lower Norfair door with 5 missiles, 5 super missiles, 5 power bombs, and maybe high jump boots and up to 3 E-Tanks. So there's first missiles for both runners. Both runners real close here, neck and neck. We're going to be seeing them go up to Bomb Chorizo in just a minute.
And coming up, we're going to see both of them going up the climb, which is one of the most technical rooms in the game. And just looking at that room, you can really tell what level a runner is at, because that room is so difficult to execute.
Talk to us about different approaches of attack for the technicalities of the room.
So in the climb, there are 2 ways. There's a ledge grab climb and a wall jump climb. And we believe that they both do the wall jump climb.
Zoasty attacking right up the right side. Left side? Yeah, whatever. I don't know left and right. Really nicely done parlor there by Zoast. Getting all the ledge grabs. Look at Sloaters. Oh man, those wall jumps off the sides are so tricky. Makes it look like it's nothing.
So one of the tricks there is if you're in spin jump and you expand to not spin jump, then you will expand your hitbox and that lets you snap directly to the ledge. And you have to do that in every single ledge. And how well you can do that is one of the hallmarks of a great runner. Because if you can't do it well, then you're losing a few frames every single jump.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a speed run, frames matter. Look at that, the immediate jump back by Zoasty. Sloater setting up for the same thing. Gets it. Makes it look so easy.
Zoast taking a few more hits, neither of them getting the quick kill on Bomb Chorizo. So neither of them can be happy with that fight.
No, you don't want to get that health there that Zoasty got. He's coming out of Bomb Chorizo with only a single missile. That is not ideal.
And takes a hit. Taking that hit is significant. Is really bad in this scenario for Zoast.
Yeah, that means he's not going to get the drops that he wants later on. He really, really wants missile drops because he's going to need to open up that door.
So you're going to see Sloaters pull a little bit ahead just because Zoast needed those drops.
Yeah, it looks like he got them off the waivers, though. Coming out of Terminator. Yeah, and both runners killing these pirates. They want to preserve as much health as possible because they are going to be going up for the alpha power bombs. Up Red Tower, that is. Up
the Red Tower, and then there's going to be a few deboosts, which is about 64 extra health burn, so they definitely want all the health they can get.
Suits at this point in time. This, in fact, is a suitless run. We'll put that in quotes, as we don't grab any of the suits. The GT code just gives them to us.
So entering the early supers room, we saw Zoast shoot down diagonally at the door twice, which is a tiny frame save and incredibly, incredibly risky. Zoast can do it consistently, but there are very few players who go for that in runs.
You miss one of those 5 missiles that you have, which is exactly enough. Then you have to farm to go get some more, and that is incredible time loss. Or even worse, go up the elevator. Nobody wants to do that.
It is always terrifying when you're on the last 50-50 chance, hoping that you don't have to go up the elevator.
Yeah, that Rio being nice for both of the runners, giving Sloaters missiles there.
So right here is charge and charge missiles, and both of the runners are skipping both of those safeties.
Yeah, as we surmised with runners of this caliber, these guys are both just goes to show how good they are.
So Zoast is going to be still full health. Sloaters is down 30 health, so
that's going to matter here a little bit on this climb. We're going to see how they approach this. Zoasty typically does the power shot, hero shot. Amazing. Every time I see it, it's amazing. Sloater's going for it. Spectacular.
Every time.
Unbelievable. Every time I see it, it doesn't matter who does it. It is just unbelievable. And so hard to do because you have very, very few frames to catch up to that power shot. Just non-charged up. Like, it's just doing it with wave beam is like almost reasonable, but doing it with an uncharged power beam is it's incredibly hard. These guys make it look easy. And that's it. That's their ammo. We're gonna see what energy tanks that they want to pick up. They have all the ammo they want for this match.
Oh, Sloater's getting chomped on.
Definitely not ideal to be caught by the Samus Eater. That is like a 8-second, 10-second time loss. I don't know.
2.5.
It's time loss. It's time loss. We're just making up time losses over here.
So you can see the Zoast is doing each room a little bit better than Sloaters, just because Zoast is mechanically stronger. Sloater's an amazing, amazing player, and it really takes somebody of Zoast caliber to be able to gain time on Sloaters every room.
Something Both players remembering to open up the Meridia tube. This is important for later on because they're going to be coming back here basically fully powered like Hundo. So, nice optimization there that they open up the Meridia tube.
In general, their movement looks almost identical room for room.
Crisp. It's very, very crisp.
So they're going to be killing the 3 pirates. You need to kill everything in Kraid hallway in order to open the metal door. And they're going to save missiles. They're going to be killing it with a power bomb.
Yeah. Zoasty didn't have enough missiles there, so he used the power bomb, and Sloaters just used the more typical missile strat because he had full missiles. The drops have been a little more generous for Sloaters, although Sloaters at 33 energy does not want to really mess up this Kraid quick kill that Zoasty just takes down with no problem.
No matter what level you get to, this trick is never free. So
no, it is absolutely always quite the trick.
And without charge beam and low ammo, missing the Kraid quick kill is much more punishing in this category than it is in any other category.
Oh yeah, at 33 energy, if like Sloaters messed it up, he easily could take a death there. And to a runner like Zoast, it's game over. If any of these runners die, that could easily be the decider in this race.
Zoast chooses to use a super on one of the pirates.
He is out of missiles. His ammo has not been kind to him tonight.
He had a choice between burning a super or using a power bomb, and he chose to use a super.
Yeah, that's okay. He can refill the supers a little more easily coming up. And you see he skipped over that Kraid E-Tank. And Sloaters is going up too. Says, nope, no Kraid E-Tank for me. That makes me think that both of them are going to be picking up the high jump boots. It does make it a little more freer, especially in kind of a race setting. These runners aren't going for their personal best per se here. They just want to. Their end goal is to beat the other player. So I think high jump boots make sense in this setting. It means that if they miss it, though, they are going to die.
So one of the interesting things that we saw was the way that they both did the business center. They both did the business center the way that you would do it in New Route, which gets to farm, which is frames slower than the way that you would normally do it for a GT Classic PB run. So that's something that's just so much muscle memory that they're willing to give up frames just to be able to do it the way that they're comfortable with.
It could have been a muscle memory thing. So yeah, I mean, I think that's just yeah, that's a really interesting thing to have noticed.
So coming up as the next potential safety, are they going to be saving before they do the lava dive?
In that Bubble Mountain area that we talked about much earlier. We'll see.
Nope, from Zoast.
Oh, Zoast going for it. He's just that confident. Sloaters may just have to take the chance up against someone like Zoast. Here's that farm for the supers that I was talking about, where Zoast is not so worried about how many supers he has. The violas in the room before Norfair Lava Room will have
Zoast,
power bombs.
it's RNG.
Who cares? Yeah, it's not been kind to Zoast.
Wow. So those draw each wave of farm. You would the expected value is a little slightly over 1 super. So Zoast got absolutely horrible RNG.
The ammo drops have not really been in Zoast's favor. These violas will drop power bombs if they really want them. There's also a couple of viola down at the bottom once they get past the lower Norfair elevator that will drop them power bombs if they really want them. But at this point in time, I don't think they have a need of power bombs. Sloaters not caring about. Yeah, Sloaters not caring about regular missiles either. You see, he only has a single one. I imagine this save here at the top of the elevator. Oh,
wow!
Sloaters not going for the save. That does put him in a significant time save there. That's like 10 seconds or so.
So right now, so Sloaters misses these 5 super missiles. Sloaters is going back to the ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
And in
that's
our
where the
race,
game auto saves you.
and in our race versus Matrick yesterday, Matrick missed all of those, which is how we won. So this is a huge risk for Sloaters.
He has to feel that this is
No!
a gamble. Oh
No! No!
Loaders missed. Oh boy. And Zoasty gets it first try. Wow, that was the gamble that Sloaters took to beat a runner like Zoast. And Zoasty gets the GT code. As we see, he turns up with suddenly with the gravity suit. Interestingly, he turns off Varia as well as Spacer. Must turn off Spacer, otherwise he will risk basically a hard lock.
So people are asking whether this is GG. Zoast has one more attempt in stand up, where Zoast can soft lock. But if Zoast decides to play it safe rather than going for a PB, rather than trying to get a super amazing time, then Zoast has it for free. So we'll see if Zoast is playing for the best time that Zoast can get, or whether Zoast decides to play it safe and just skips stand up.
Marathon, or well, not a marathon, but this is a race setting. There's no way that Zoast isn't gonna play it safe. If he's listening in and watching the restream, he's playing it safe. Excellent fast pillars by Zoast. Sloaters, we see picking up that morph ball again.
Yeah, that was just a super unfortunate way for this race to end, or close to end.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over yet. Anything can happen still, but I imagine that Zoasty knows and understands the caliber of runner that Sloaters is, and any kind of mistake can really add up. Really interesting there, Zoasty laying that power bomb in order to clear the sounds out of that room there, the amphitheater, so that it will basically unload faster. Really small optimization saves a bunch of frames.
So we're gonna see how Zoasty decides to play this towards the end, because Zoasty really has a lot of options. Is Zoasty gonna take extra saves? Because Zoasty is a solid 10 minutes ahead at this point.
Yeah, I would think that Zoast may save just before Mother Brain, and that's kind of it. That would be the only save I anticipate him taking at this point in time. I think in an earlier race he did that, so I would not put it past him doing that again. Really nice parlor there by Sloaters.
Zoast, we feel like Zoast has really been playing to win this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, there is a decent prize for the first place here for this tournament. Prizes provided by Bull, Guarana, and Mega Cat Studios. So thanks to them. But yeah, I would imagine if you're this good, you play to win. I don't fault him for it either. Wow, that Ridley fight.
That was a good Ridley. Yeah, playing to win requires being willing to sacrifice some of your time in order to play to win. For example, Zoast. If Zoast is playing entirely to win, then Zoast should skip stand-up glitch. Because messing up stand-up is the only way that he can lose at this point.
No, because I think there's a way to play stand-up safely and still do that. But I mean, maybe, right?
There's absolutely ways to play it safely. But why? But if you're really playing to win and taking safeties, why potentially give up the entire match for a 12-second time save when your run isn't going to PB already because you took high jump?
We'll see, right? Like, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot of muscle memory when you get into it, and you're at that point in time, like you were talking about earlier, how they went through the business center, right? So they're in it. They're there. They do it. They know, and I think you don't necessarily change what you're doing because that's when you can easily mess it up. So. Zoast going through Bubble Mountain again. He has Ridley down at this point in time. Kraid and Ridley are down for him, so he's going to be going directly onto Drakon. We're going to be seeing some microwave beam action here. One thing that we kind of glossed over is that our runners have basically everything. The GT code gives 700 energy, 3 reserve tanks. So that's 700 energy, not 799, like a normal E-tank would. 3 reserve tanks. It gives 100 missiles, 20 supers, and 20 power bombs, in addition to all of the other power-ups, which we've kind of seen when the runners paused, or when Zoasty paused, to change his setup, turn off that spacer beam. In addition to that, which you can't see on the screen, our runners, both when they have the GT code, will have a grapple beam and the X-ray scope. So we're going to be seeing Zoasty make use of that X-ray scope in order to microwave beam kill both Bot Wound and Drakon, as well as Phantoon in a little bit.
So one beautiful thing about Zoast Bot Wound kill that's going to be coming up, Bot Wound has 3k HP, and Plasma has charge beams is 900, so he's going to hit 3 times with the charge beam and finish Bot Wound off with a super, which is slightly faster than doing a microwaving 4 times and doing a beam only kill. And there you go, that tiny time save.
Zoasty is all about the time saves. And I think that, right, like it's safer to do the 4 X-ray, but I think that's the muscle memory thing. So I think we're going to be seeing Zoasty do stand up. Really, really great. Oh man, that was an awesome full halfie by Zoast. Spectacular to see these tricks just go off. Sloaters coming in to the kind of spacer area here. Going to be opening up the tube again. Remember that small optimization saves time when they want to come up in here into Meridian. Don't have to wait for that power bomb to explode.
So one of the ways you can always die in this game is Drakon chain damage, but you cannot die. But you do not kill Drakon with a spark here, so there is no Drakon chain damage, which makes this category significantly safer once you've already hit the GT code.
Spike suit there, real nice. The one thing that if you'll notice when Zoasty went to go ahead and use the microwave beam, Zoast kneeled Samus down, and when Drakon is dead, the game forces Samus to stand up. That is a realignment in case you grapple kill Drakon, that the game automatically does for you. So a nice little visual indicator there to know when to terminate your microwave beam. Alright, Sloaters coming in on that Kraid quick kill. Real nice. Oh yeah. Really look real nice setup, real nicely done. Once again. Making it look easy.
So going back to earlier in this race, Sloaters actually was ahead of Zoast going into the Green Gate glitch, because Zoast got absolutely terrible RNG from farming RNG.
So, Sloaters decided not to save at the top of the lower Norfair elevator, which was a giant risk, and having missed the Green Gate glitch 5 times, sadly, unequalized the race here by quite a bit. Sloaters using that power bomb strat. Missiles not quite as good as the last time he came through this room here in the house.
Zoast has to Zoast coming up on his Phantoon fight. So the way that Zoast is going to kill Phantoon is Zoast is going to hit Phantoon with one missile, and then is going to microwave 3 times to get 3 charged beam shots, and that will be Phantoon. Zoast opting to space jump across the ocean, slightly faster because you don't have to wait for the Shine Spark crash. One of the things when you're first learning the game or watching it, Shine Sparks look absolutely beautiful, but the Shine Spark crash being 70 frames means that Shine Sparks usually aren't as fast as they actually seem.
Yep.
So there's just going to be doing a speedball underneath. Speedball with yep, right there. Sloaters did not pick up high jump. Sloaters is going for a 2-tank high jumpless right now. Two-tank high jumpless incoming. Sloaters is doing the world record route right here. And Zoast unfortunately getting a slow.
Saved by Sloaters.
1, 2, 3 from Zoast. Sloaters getting good RNG again.
Yeah, the RNG has been in Sloaters' favor, and that's the one thing that he's had going for him. But here comes that Norfair lava dive for the Sloaters. Are we going to get a good... lava ball setup looks really good. You really need this in tankless or 2-tank high jump. No high jump.
And Zoast is setting up for springboard jump across the moat.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So amazing tricks on both sides at the same time.
Oh man, that was 19 health. Sloaters has 19 energy left. Man, I'm on the edge of my seat here. Saving for this Green Gate glitch this time.
We have a fact from Kip that this is Sloaters' first loss ever in a multi-category tournament. And when we say this, Sloaters has not lost yet. It's not over until it's actually over.
That is true. Alright, here comes that Green Gate glitch here for Sloaters. Meanwhile, Zoasty waiting for this very uninteresting cutscene over here at the Golden Statues. Sloaters getting it. Taking a couple of hits there off the Rippers. Alright. Come on, Sloaters. Get that GT code. GT code successful. Yeah. Gotta pause here. Take off that spacer beam. No, that's wave!
Space time! Space time incoming.
Oh no.
Unfortunately missed it. So to people wanting a best of 3, there's going to be after tomorrow, there's one more week of matches, and then we are into the top 16 playoff bracket matches for the playoffs, which will all be best of 3s.
It's not legal in this category.
So Sloaters is going to be doing GT Space Time, the GT glitched game end code, and Sloaters is just going to be teleporting directly from here to the end of the game. And if Sloaters can do this right, Sloaters will actually have the planet blown up before Zoast.
Not legal in this category.
So what Sloaters is going to be doing, Sloaters is going to have every beam equipped except for wave, and is going to, which is a glitched beam, and it's just going to be attempting to set the escape flag, and just generally causing mayhem. And this is all intentional right now.
Zoasty.
Zoast unfortunately missing baby skip.
Yeah. He is facing to the right this time. That does save about 40 frames in Samus's stand-up animation.
So Sloaters successfully teleported back to the beginning, but the escape flag is not set. So the escape flag is not set yet. So
He does have a lot of fun icons up at the top there. All right.
is that the escape flag set?
We'll see in just a moment. When the world starts shaking for Sloaters.
That is the escape flag set, and the planet blown up for Sloaters.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do him any good in this particular category. As
So
we
Sloater-
have to race and finish GT Classic.
So Zeus did not save.
No, those did not save. He also took out that first Zebetite there, and nice little GT Classic optimization. Zeb skipping through the second Zebetite.
So both of them have a save after the lava dive right now. So Zeus soft locks. They will both be at the same point.
With Slaughter's attention.
Did Sloaters save the animals? Does anybody know if Sloaters saves the animals here?
No, we don't save the animals. That's just a fable, a farce. It's not really a thing. Zoasty pounding away here, Mother Brain too. Got the catch-up beams, so he's just about wrapped up here.
And he is going for stand-up.
Yep, absolutely.
So stand-up is much riskier in GT Classic than any other category, because once you get to full HP, the baby will detach from you. In every other category, you have a bit of extra HP, which means that the baby will be attached to you for longer. So basically, if the baby detaches you too close to the middle of the screen, and you're not far enough to the right, then Mother Brain can end up in a state where she just repeatedly misses the baby with the onion rings. To avoid this, a simple way to avoid this is to take some extra damage from Mother Brain to make the refilling phase last longer.
Just pounding away here at Mother Brain 3.
So this is going to attempt to get to 39 charge shots in. So it's one rainbow beam shot away from killing Mother Brain.
Well, it is the full 40.
And there you go. Zoast is taking some intentional damage to prevent the soft lock. And Zoast has very successfully avoided the soft lock. Just playing this incredibly safely, and now is a 70-second escape away from victory.
Out earlier with him playing the stand up. You can still absolutely do stand up and play it safe. And while we're watching the crowd, it's on Sloater's side. We're going to be seeing Zoasty run through the escape here. As intended for this category.
So after this, Zoast is going to be 5-0, guaranteed a playoff spot. And Sloaters will be 4-1.
Zoast missing the speedball there, I can't remember the name of that trick. That's like the most spectacular best trick ever. Blue Bomber. There you go. Thank you. Yeah.
And Sloaters has officially forfeited.
All right, Zoast coming up here on the ship.
And Zoast is finished in first place with an official SRL race time of 34 minutes and 42 seconds. GG Zoast.
Yeah, very nicely done by, well, I mean, frankly, both of these runners. They're both pretty spectacular.
And Sloaters found an amazing way to put in a show, even after that unfortunate soft lock.
Yeah. Let's see if either one of these folks wants to come in and join us. Sloaters, good evening.
Oh, sorry. I think it's working now. Hey, guys.
Hello.
We are also joined by Zoasty. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
So, my first question here is going to be for Sloaters. No saving at the top of the lower Norfair elevator. Man, that is a risk. What were you thinking?
Well, I would normally save there every single time, but you know it's Zoast, so gotta take some gambles because there's no way whatever little lead I had going into the elevator that I was gonna keep over the next like 20 minutes or whatever. So that's the one time where I'm okay with not taking a safety save there.
So, Zoasty, you vetoed RBO, if I remember correctly.
Correct, yeah.
What were you thinking about going into with the categories as they were, and knowing that your opponent was going to be Sloaters?
I figured we'd be racing GT Classic. Didn't want to do RBO. Sloaters is really good at RBO. Well, he's really good at a lot of things, obviously. But RBO is like so volatile, and I'm not as good as I used to be at it. It's easier to be good at GT Classic because I've done it a lot more recently, and it's shorter. So yeah, and RBO is like super volatile, so I wanted something a little bit more consistent to race in this race. Even GT Classic's kind of scary with the GGT. Honestly, I was very close to skipping the save myself for the same reasons he said. Like, because if you have to reload, it's like a 40 or 50 second time loss, and unless the other person reloads, and in our race, then you're probably going to lose if you have to reload, even if you get it second time. So it's almost not worth doing. I figured if I was like behind, I would not. If I could see what he was doing, like if I would have been behind enough to where I saw that he skipped the save, I probably would have skipped the save too. But I couldn't. There was too much, too much lag between what I could see on the screen.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Yeah. So that's really great. You guys going into next week, our categories are going to be low ice, any percent, and triple bingo. Of those three, is there anyone in particular that you might be looking forward to?
Is it triple bingo? I thought it was GT Classic.
No, week 6, right? Week 6?
Yeah.
Low percent ice, any percent, and triple bingo.
Okay.
So yeah, any one of those three in particular you might be looking forward to?
I always like racing low ice. Like seeing low ice matches.
I don't think we've seen too many low percent ice races. There's only been one other week that it's been featured in. Yeah, week 4. I don't remember seeing too many of them, if any at all.
That doesn't surprise me, but it doesn't get raced all that much, so I'd like to see more of them. But I understand why you wouldn't.
Well, it is a very difficult fight with 200 shots on Mother Brain, right? 200, something like
Right.
that. Yeah. Sloaters, any category you might be looking forward to next week?
I feel the same pretty much. I'd love to see more low percent races, both myself and everyone else. I think with it being week 6 too, they should, in theory, kind of be like the best matchups we have. So I feel like people are going to be more willing to leave that one on the table. So hopefully, there's a lot more this week.
I can't agree with that more. We're going to be seeing some. As this tournament has progressed, we have seen awesome matchups, and this one also being fantastic. We have some really cool stuff coming up, even. So yeah. Any other thoughts you guys might have here?
So Zeus, congratulations on making it into the playoffs.
Hey, thanks.
You mentioned that you hadn't run RBO recently. Going to playoffs, you only get one veto. Are you thinking that you're going to want to veto RBO or veto triple bingo? Or something else?
I mean, I most likely veto triple bingo. First, most people. Like, if it's Zinni and maybe Sloaters and maybe Kip, I might consider RBO. But even then, I'm not sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, I mean, I'll just practice RBO more before the playoffs.
It'll be really exciting to watch you practicing RBO.
It's a fun category. There's just a lot to it. It's like 100%. Like, if you want to practice everything, including like late game. Like, obviously, you want to get to where you can survive Ridley and be able to kill Drakon and get out of there. But even like after that, there's a lot to practice as far as movement, playing well, just everywhere, really. Yeah, round 16 is gonna be fun though. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That is, yeah. I think that insight into RBO is and the brackets coming up. That's some good insight.
Yeah, even if my opponent picks RBO and I veto triple bingo, I mean, I still have a really good shot at all the rest of the categories. GT Classic, low percent, 80% all bosses, 80%. Like, I'm pretty up to date on all those, so I'm not too worried about it. But I will practice RBO. And 100%.
So Zoast, it looks like Zenny is in chat, and he's a little bit upset that he would be forcing him to veto bingo.
I think we should all collectively agree to just veto RBO against Zenny just so he never gets to do it.
I'll just defer the veto to him.
Poor Zenny.
Assuming I got the better seed.
Yeah, that'll be something interesting to look forward to. We're gonna have to see what happens next week, of course, for the seeds for the brackets section of the tournament. Mm-hmm. And we do have that one more week coming up. It'll be interesting to see what opponents we all get. So yeah, I know I'm looking forward to seeing who my opponent might be. I think with the Swiss rounds, we can probably kind of figure it out, but that means you have to do math and stuff. I let the computer do that for me anymore these days. Right. So yeah, this has been. I think this has been a really fun tournament. Really fun way to do toast and all. What do you guys think about that? How's that been working out for you guys?
What was the last thing you said?
The vetoes, the way the vetoes have been working out. I feel like there's a depth to strategy with those. How do you guys feel about the way that the vetoes has been working out? I think that
I feel like most of the weeks I already knew what was gonna be played, or I was correct about it at least. Whatever I thought was gonna be played. Usually you would think the person who's got the higher seed should defer it, so you'd almost think that should be like the default. Just like give the other person the first veto, or give the option for the. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. That makes sense, really, to give the person with the higher seed the option. But it seems like it would always be best to defer it. But if you're watching like what the other person's doing, like you can kind of tell what they're wanting to play, and like based on their past experiences and stuff, you can kind of, in like the nature of the categories, it's kind of obvious a lot of times. It feels like what's going to be played, but it's still cool. I mean, I still like the format. I'm not really saying the format's bad. I really do like it.
no. I don't think our audience thought you were either. Sloaters, what's your take on the veto format?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think a problem with it last time is we didn't get to see like RBO or low percent a lot because they were only allowed at the end, and sort of the way we have it where every week, there's like a 3 GT classics throughout all the weeks, 3 hundos, 3 any% or whatever. Like there's kind of a set number of everything, so it's sort of distributed all the races, somewhat evenly. So I think it works really well like that, and still like having a few each week, you get to see not just the same category run all week. But kind of like Zoe said too, at least with like my last couple of matchups, like both this one and against Kip, I was like pretty much expecting GT Classic. So if you know your opponent well enough, it is kind of like usually predictable what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I can't argue that. But yeah, I think the vetoes have added a little bit of strategy in to the tournament. Thinking about what your opponent might be doing, and do you think that has also maybe delayed signups as far as like most people kind of wanting to put their race later on in the week to get a little more practice in, or do you think that maybe has not been such a big that kind of thing has not had such a big impact?
I mean, I'm sure there's some impact of that, especially if like someone's literally never run the category before, so they kind of need to like actually get some practice or get a run in at least. I know I usually try to like get them later in the week just because I'm not playing a ton right now, and so I sort of need to like de-rust the categories like that week. But yeah, I think it probably has some little impact.
Has it been something in your races this tournament that you've kind of thought about, Zoasty, or is that something that never crossed your mind?
Yeah, I've delayed my. I've been kind of the same way, but mainly because like once I start racing later in the week, I like to have some sort of buffer of time. Like I like the consistency of racing around the same time each week, so I have that week to prepare.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. So, yeah.
You kind of know what you're going to have to prepare ahead of time because the categories are all laid out for the weeks. But yeah, I like having some time at least to practice instead of doing it at the very beginning of the week after you do one late in the week, whatever.
Yeah, I'll admit that is actually one thing that surprised me. I thought that the three choices were going to be kind of revealed week by week, and that they were all revealed ahead of time. Was nice for sure because you could definitely strategize about it. But I thought when my first initial impressions when I read the rules and the posts about it was that we would see the categories week by week, and I think that would have led to a little bit of a different approach for folks. What do you guys think about that as maybe a thing for next time, if there is a next time, which I hope there will be?
I think in a perfect world, that's probably the right way to do it. Although, like, the one practical problem we have with that is, like, half of our organizing team is, like, in the tournament. So we would, unless we have some other person, like, not related to the organizing team, like, put the schedule together. I guess that would be, like, one way to do it like that in the future. But yeah, I think that's sort of one of the cool things, at least like last time, because it was randomized between, like, 3 random categories every time, is that you don't really know, like, what you're going to get until you get into the race room, right? So that's kind of, like, part of the excitement for me, is not knowing until you actually get there.
I think the only bad thing about that is it could introduce the issue of people wanting to schedule their races late, like every time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
But I do agree about the excitement of having them revealed at the last moment. That would be cool too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could still do like the 3 categories with the veto. But yeah, I think you're right. It might lead to folks trying to schedule their races later. Yeah. Well, I am once again excited to have had the privilege to commentate for you guys. I don't know that I have any more questions. Freyas, do you have any more questions?
Thank you so much for putting on an amazing race. And we're really, really, really excited to see what both of you can pull out as we go towards the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks for commentating, Neil.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So yeah, let's see here, real quick, folks. We have going on SpeedGaming 6 is Polar Bear Bunny versus Cash Mod, another spectacular race. That's going on, should be right now. It started at 8 p.m. And then at 11 p.m. we are going to have Shiny Zenny versus a real cutie. Please check the schedule for that. I don't see a channel listed here. That's going to be 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. That'll be another spectacular match. All these matches spectacular. Then tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m., we're going to have OC 101 versus Toasty. At 2 p.m., we'll have Mass Hysteria versus Timochin. At 2:30, Papa Schmo versus Jarl Bargle. At 5 p.m., Nevdi versus BPS, the Blue Plasma Spark himself. And at 7 p.m., at 7 p.m., Richman 3MM versus Mr. J Giggles. At 9:30, Maniacal versus Kishmo. Wow, there's so many matches tomorrow. And we're going to wrap up the day at 11 p.m. All these times, Eastern Time. Gameaholic versus, me? Oh, all right. Well, there you go. So we'll see if that last one actually gets restreamed or not. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more action tomorrow. And you please tune into the SpeedGaming channels to check it out, check our schedule, and find out what is happening. And this was once again an exciting match, as they all are, in the Super Metroid multi-category tournament. And I think we're going to see you next mission. Freyas, you want to send us off?
Yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who helped, and the SpeedGaming staff who helped put this on. Thank you to all the tournament organizers who are making a Swiss possible. A Swiss is a lot of work on the part of the organizers. And thank you to Zoast and Sloaters for an amazing race. And we will see you all next mission.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.